All right, welcome back into the channel. Welcome back in Eagles Nation. Today we are going to be talking about something that's been on my chest all off season. I'm glad I finally got the platform to come up here and talk about it with you guys. It's this idea that's just been circulating in my head now for a couple months, and I haven't been sure if this is just a fandom thing kicking in or if this is a real possibility. But as you saw by the thumbnail, today we're going to be talking about the three reasons why I think Jalen Hurts could be your NFL MVP at the end of the 2024 season. You know, if you're here in the beginning, this is kind of the first real video that'll be being put out on this channel. I wanted to start off with a bang, start off with something on my chest, maybe a little bit of a controversial topic. I'm not entirely sure here, but Eagles fans, let me talk to you, walk with me. Let's, go on a journey here. Eagles haters that are on this video, let me walk with you, take you on this journey, and give you the three reasons why I think Jalen Hurts can be your 2024 NFL MVP. And the first reason for that is the new offensive scheme, right? For us Eagles fans, there's no surprise when it comes to last year was not the year we wanted it to be. When it comes to talking about 2023, you guys know that. The scheme was pretty dry, pretty bland. Defenses quickly figured it out. A lot of blitzes coming at us, no action over the middle of the field, a lot of deep routes, a bunch of percentage of the plays were in shotgun, a lot of inside zone running. It was just a very, very predictable offense. The god-awful quarterback draws with our injured quarterback on third down and longs. I don't know what they were thinking there. I still don't know, but the past is in the past. And now going into 2024, Kellen Moore takes over as the offensive coordinator for our football team. And the thing with that is, I know there's a mixed crowd, right? Some Eagles fans are a fan of this move. Some Eagles fans are on it, and some really don't like this move. And I have really been warming up to the idea of Kellen Moore running this offense as training camp has begun, because there's no doubt that Jalen Hurts has been very good early on in training camp. And I get it, it's just training camp, so you take what you take with that. But his completion percentage is very high. Throughout the first couple days, I believe it's always been in the high 60s. And today, even when I'm recording this, it hit the 80% mark. And I don't really value, touchdowns, interceptions, because you don't know exactly if they would make that play in a real game, etc. But in terms of completion percentages, what this says to me is that Jalen Hurts is picking up on this offense. And the knock on the Kellen Moore offense sometimes is that it's kind of complex. When you look back to 2022, all the motion and pre-snap stuff kind of messed with Dak Prescott a little bit. It's why he had so many interceptions that year. It's why they moved on from Kellen Moore. And Mike McCarthy himself even said they needed to simple down the offense. And then Dak had a good year following that. But so we know Kellen Moore's offense can be complex. It needs a high IQ quarterback to run it. And while I assumed Jalen Hurts was that, it's very nice to see that in action. I think the good thing that is really coming with Kellen Moore and will be a breath of fresh air for Eagles fans is the motion that this offense has, the pre-snap motion, right? Last year, these were the top 5 offenses in using motion. The Dolphins, the Rams, the 49ers, the Packers, the Lions, the Chargers were up there, the Falcons were up there. It depends if you're looking at pre-snap motion in terms of play action plays, or, it's different based on the play. But the Dolphins and the 49ers were the top 2 teams overall in terms of motion usage. And those were 2 of the top offenses in the NFL. Then you had some scatter teams like the Rams, the Falcons, the Lions get up there. But again, aside from the Falcons, who had Desmond Ridder at quarterback, we're talking about good offenses here. Motion is the way of the new offenses. We're in a very pass-heavy offense, and leagues and defenses, they know that that is what's coming, right? So what do you do to differentiate yourself? Now you have motion. Get the matchups you want. Confuse the defense. Give them different looks. That is the key here to a successful offense in 2024. I believe that Kellen Moore has all the tools to be a successful offensive coordinator in 2024. I thought he did a good job with the Chargers early on. They didn't struggle to put up points. The defense was just god-awful. And then obviously when Justin Herbert got hurt, that offense looked abysmal. But, no Herbert, no Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen. What did you expect? The pieces are there for this Eagles offense, and Kellen Moore really needed the tools. The second factor going into Jalen Hurts being the MVP in 2024 is that he'll actually be healthy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what the Jalen Hurts performances were last year and know that he was clearly injured. I mean, the guy had a huge brace on his knee underneath his pads for about half the season. You could see when he got up from certain runs or certain even rushes out of bounds where he didn't get hurt. He was just feeling it in his leg. And when you are a dual threat quarterback, when you are a mobile quarterback who relies on that to not just make yourself look good, but for the offense to run, it can cause a little bit of problems. I want you guys to just take a moment and think all the way back to 2022, when Jalen Hurts would have won the MVP if he closed out that year fully healthy, and when Jalen Hurts went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. You guys remember that, right? Jalen Hurts' rushing attack was one of the best in football. He was talked about with Lamar Jackson as the two best rushing quarterbacks in football in that season, and rightfully so. When he can run the ball, he's a bad man. I mean, I always think back to the juke out on the Saints. I'm sure that's what a lot of Eagles fans think back to, but let's be honest. Dual threat quarterbacks, they get a ton of love in today's NFL. Lamar Jackson's a two-time MVP. Josh Allen, the face of the Bills franchise, widely considered as the second best quarterback in football. And in 2024, I expect us to see a healthy Jalen Hurts, which means I expect us to see an explosive Jalen Hurts the same way that he was in 2022. You pair that up with the tush push, the brotherly shove, becoming even more lethal, and a Saquon Barkley addition. So now on read options and just run plays in general, defensive players and the defensive line especially have to really focus in on the running back. That should open up some lanes for Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't be shocked if in 2024 we saw 45 total touchdowns from Jalen Hurts, rushing and passing combined. And the last case I want to make for Jalen Hurts winning the MVP award in 2024 is there's going to be a ton of team success for Philadelphia. Listen, we all believe that 2024 is going to be better than 2023 for the Eagles, but even last year it was an 11-win team. So the ceiling could go up. We could theoretically be talking about a 13-14 win season similar to 2022. The division going through some changes. Washington completely flipped their organization upside down. I don't know what's going on with the Giants. You know, if you saw Hard Knocks with Joe Shane and Brian Daboll and Daniel Jones, you could argue those are the three most important guys in the building, and all of their jobs are question marks at this point. In Dallas, their situation with CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones. I think it's pretty nice to say that the Eagles have the most stability of any team in the NFC East. And that being said, it means something over the course of a full season. Stability is good. A good organization, a good front office, a good coaching staff. Philly has that this year. I think they could certainly, they're the betting favorites to win the NFC East. But we'll go a step further because while it is the MVP award, we all basically know at this point in time, it is a quarterback award, which very much so values winning. And I'm not here to argue about if winning is a quarterback stat, but it's the most influential player on the field. They clearly play some role in winning, right? That's why the Chiefs have won back-to-back Super Bowls. And the NFC, don't get me wrong, has some top-tier teams like San Francisco and like Detroit. But with those two teams playing first-place schedules and Philly playing a second-place schedule, one or two games could make the difference. Those two play each other this year. That battle of them playing each other could make the difference in Philly locking down the 1 seed. And if you get a healthy season out of Jalen and a team that wins a lot of games and could very well be the 1 seed in the NFC, we know if you combine a successful regular season, a top 8-ish offense, and a dual threat quarterback who scores a lot, that can result in an MVP award. I mean, hell, just ask Lamar Jackson, who won last year's award, and statistically, it wasn't the most impressive season. It's just a control over the game and a guy who clearly dominates the field. Jalen Hurts, we know he has that ability to him. He hasn't won an MVP yet, so there's no voter fatigue. Philly's a very popular team and a team that could be the 1 seed. I genuinely believe that 2024 could be the year that Jalen Hurts puts it all together and wins the MVP award. But those are just my thoughts on this, guys. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Am I out of my mind for thinking Jalen Hurts can win the MVP this year? Or do you believe, if you are wanting to see more Eagles content, hit that subscribe button. I promise you plenty more on the way. We're going to be talking about preseason games, training camp. regular season preview, depth chart. It all will be covered. Everything Philadelphia Eagles on this channel. Hit that sub button, hit the like button. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.